Welcome to Mishna study, Masechet Kilayim, Perek Zayin, Mishna Aleph. So we're beginning the 7th Perek. Over here we're going to start to discuss what they would do with vines sometimes, where they would take the actual vine of grapes, they'd stick it into the ground and then have it pop back up elsewhere. And that would create two vines. It was a technique that they would use, they still use. And this Mishnah is going to discuss when we want to leave space, the avodat kerem or avodat gefen, right? The space in order to work. Where do we need to measure from? That first vine or that second vine? And similarly, are we allowed to plant over that space, the area that was dug into the ground? So you bent the vine into the ground and you had it pop up 10 feet, further along into the field. Those 10 feet that the vine is under the ground, are you allowed to plant over that or not? So that's what we're going to discuss in this Mishnah. If a person bent a vine into the ground and he had it pop up elsewhere, if there's no 3 tefachim of dirt on top of the vine, right? So I found these pictures online. If there's less than 3 tefachim, he's not allowed to plant on top of it, right? So he's dug the vine into the ground, had it pop up elsewhere. There's no 3 tefachim, he's not allowed to plant, anything else. If there's more than 3 tefachim though, he would be allowed. Right? Even if he went ahead and he literally stuck it in a pump, in a pipe, right? Silon is a pipe. It's made out of, Rambam says, it's a pipe made out of cheres, made out of pottery, right? That's why if it was something maybe made out of metal wouldn't be the case. Made out of pottery, a pipe made out of pottery, or a dlat, a pumpkin, a gourd, right? Which a lot of times also becomes hollow inside once it's scooped out, it becomes really hard. And even if you went ahead and stuck it through there, it doesn't matter. You still need at least 3 tefachim deep in order to plant something or above it. Now, the next case in the Mishnah mentions Hivricha basela. Let's say you went ahead and you bent it into, the sela is a hard bedrock, hard ground. Okay, so over here, you don't need 3 tefachim. Over here, even if as long as you have 3 fingers worth, then you're allowed to go ahead and plant above it. Right? So you see over here, much less space, 3 fingers worth, then he's allowed to go ahead and plant above it. Harkuba shebagefen. Harkuba is literally, harkuba is a knee. So like what we spoke about. So now you have that knee that was going to the ground. And modudin ela meikar hasheni. Right? So if you look over here, you started with the vine on the left, you dug it into the ground, you had it pop back up, and now you have a second vine that came out. Where do you measure from? So the Mishnah says you only measure from the second one, because that now became the main one. So you go ahead, if it's a single vine, you measure 6 tefachim from the second root, right, where it popped back up, and that's where you need to measure from. But, and here's a but, Rambam points out, let's say that the first vine is recognized as the main one. And in a picture like this actual live picture. So you see the first root, the first vine, then you took it, like the knee, like literally, you see how it's coming out. You stuck it into the ground, maybe not even deep, it could be even above the ground. That seems to be the way Rambam does explain it in the Mishneh Torah also in this case. And you even had it pop back out and say, okay, so over here, we know that it's coming from the first vine. And because we know it's coming from the first vine, so in this case, you're going to have to measure from the Ikar Rishon, from the first root, from the first vine, those 6 tefachim.